Welcome. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Eric.
What are the words today, Eric?
Is to get up. The first word today is particular.
Particular.
Particular. It means something that is specific or special. For example, if you like a particular kind of music, it means you like a specific type that is special to you.
I see. So, if I say I want a particular book from the library, it means I want a specific one?
That's right, Lisa. Now let's listen to a dialogue using the word particular.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a particular dress I saw in your online store.
Sure, can you describe the dress for me?
It's a long red evening gown with a lace trim.
Ah, I know the one you're talking about. It's a very particular dress, and we only have one left in stock. Let me show you where it is.
In this dialogue, the customer is looking for a specific, unique dress that she saw online.
Yes, and the salesperson understands that it's a particular dress because it's different from the others and there's only one left.
Lisa, have you ever searched for a particular item like the customer in the dialogue?
Yes, I once spent weeks looking for a particular pair of shoes I saw in a magazine. I finally found them in a small boutique store.
That's very interesting. It shows that when you have something specific in mind, you will try to find it.
Exactly. And you feel happy when you find it because it's what you're particularly looking for. What about you, Eric? Have you ever looked for something particular?
Yes, once I was looking for a special record for my collection. It took me months to find it, but it was worth it.
That's so cool. It's amazing how much effort we make to find something, if it's particular to us. What is the next
Absolutely.
word, Eric?
The next word is on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose means doing something intentionally, not by accident. When you do something on purpose, you do it because you want to.
For example, if you say, I didn't break the vase on purpose, it means it was an accident and not something you wanted to do.
That's right. Now, let's have a sample dialogue using the phrase on purpose.
John, did you push Sarah on purpose?
No, Miss Smith. I accidentally pushed her when I was walking to my desk. Not on purpose.
Okay, I understand. Please be more careful next time.
It's okay, Miss Smith. I know. John didn't do it on purpose.
In this dialogue, the teacher asks John if he has pushed Sarah on purpose.
Yes, and John explains that it was an accident and not something he did on purpose.
It's important to understand the difference between doing something on purpose and doing it by accident.
Definitely. When you do something on purpose, you know what you're doing.
Lisa, have you ever done something on purpose that you felt bad about?
Yes, when I was younger, I once said something bad to my friend on purpose because I was angry. I felt bad about it, and later, I apologized.
I think we've all done things on purpose that we wish we regret. It's important to think before we say or do something that can be misunderstood.
I agree. What about you, Eric? Have you ever done something on purpose that had a positive outcome?
Yes, I once surprised my mom by cleaning the whole house on purpose while she was out. She was so happy when she came home.
That's so sweet. Doing something nice for someone on purpose could help them a lot. Let's explain the next word.
Okay, Lisa, the next word is to encourage.
To encourage.
To encourage. To encourage means to give someone support, confidence, or hope. When you encourage someone, you help them feel better about themselves or a situation.
For example, if your friend is nervous about a test, you might encourage them by saying, "You've studied hard. I believe in you. You can do this."
Exactly. Encouraging someone can make a big difference. Now, let's have a sample dialogue using the word encourage.
How was the presentation, Rosa?
Well, I was very nervous about speaking in front of everyone at the beginning. Then, my teacher said, You've worked really hard on your presentation, haven't you? I believe in you. You know this topic well.
So did she encourage you?
Yes, she did. I went there and shared what I know very well.
In this dialogue, the teacher encourages the student because she is very nervous.
Yes, the teacher gives the students support and confidence to keep trying and not give up.
To encourage someone can be really powerful, especially when someone is having a difficult time. Lisa, have you ever encouraged someone who needed you?
Yes, my little sister was trying to do her math homework once, and I encouraged her to keep practicing and not give up. And she got a good grade on her test.
That's wonderful. Has anyone ever encouraged you when you needed it?
Yes, when I was learning to ride a bike, my dad encouraged me and helped me believe in myself. He gave me the confidence to keep trying until I finally learned how to ride.
That's a great example. To encourage someone is a powerful tool that we can use to help others.
I couldn't agree more. So, Eric, can you give more examples of how to use the word encourage in a sentence?
You could say, I want to encourage my friend to follow her dreams. Or, the teacher has encouraged the student to do better in class.
Those are excellent examples. Okay, Eric, can you explain the next word?
The next word is to ignore.
To ignore.
To ignore. It means not paying attention to someone or something on purpose.
So if my friend is talking to me and I don't listen, am I ignoring her?
Yes, that's right. It's not a nice thing to do. Now, let's hear a dialogue using to ignore.
Hey, John. Did you hear what I said?
Sorry, Sarah. I ignored you because I was trying to study for my exam.
Oh, I understand. I didn't realize you were studying.
Thanks for understanding, Sarah. I didn't mean to be rude by ignoring you.
In this dialogue, John ignores Sarah because he focuses on studying for his exam.
Yes, and Sarah understands why John is ignoring her and doesn't take it personally.
It's important to remember that ignoring someone can sometimes be rude, even if it's what you want to do.
You made a good point, Eric. It is always better to communicate rather than ignore someone and let them know if you need to focus on something else.
I agree. Lisa, have you ever been in a situation where you had to ignore something or someone?
Yes, when I was studying for a big test, I had to ignore my phone notifications so I could concentrate. It was hard, but it helped me focus.
That's a great example of when ignoring something can be helpful. What about being ignored? Has anyone ever ignored you, Lisa?
Sure. Once, I was in a group and I tried to share my idea, but everyone ignored me. I didn't feel good.
What did you do then?
I waited for the right moment and tried again. This time, they listened and they liked my idea.
Good for you, Lisa. And how should we react when someone ignores us?
We should stay calm and try to find out why. Maybe they are busy or didn't hear us.
That's a good approach. It's better to understand the situation before being upset.
Exactly.
I think we've talked about the word ignore enough. Let's explain our last word. The last word is to get up.
To get up.
To get up.
To get up means to rise from a sitting or lying position. It's the opposite of sitting down or lying down.
For example, when you wake up in the morning, you get out of bed to start your day.
That's right. We get up every day, usually after sleeping or resting. Now, let's have a sample dialogue using the phrase to get up.
John, it's time to get up. You'll be late for school.
Okay, Mom. Just 5 more minutes, please.
No, John, you need to get up now. Breakfast is ready, and you don't want to miss the bus.
All right, I'm getting up. Thanks for waking me, Mom.
In this dialogue, John's mom is telling him to get up because he needs to get ready for school.
Yes, and he knows he needs to get up and start his day.
Getting up can be challenging sometimes, especially if you're tired or not feeling well.
that's true. But it's important to get up and start the day, even if it's difficult.
Definitely. So, Lisa, how else might someone use the phrase to get up in a sentence?
You could say, I need to get up early tomorrow for a meeting, or my grandma needs help to get up from her chair.
Those are excellent examples.
What is the first word, Eric?
The first word is to bother.
That's a common word.
Absolutely, Lisa. To bother means to make an effort to do something, often when it might be easier not to. It can also mean to cause someone to feel troubled, worried, or upset.
Could you give us an example dialogue, Eric?
Sure. Let's say you have a friend who's feeling sick and you want to check on them. You might say, I hope I'm not bothering you, but I just wanted to see how you're feeling.
Oh, I see. In this case, bothering means making someone's life harder or more annoying.
Exactly. And in another scenario, let's say, you have a lot of work to do, but your noisy neighbors are having a party. You might say, their loud music really bothers me when I'm trying to concentrate.
So in that situation, bother means to annoy or disturb someone?
Right on, Lisa.
Do you think there are situations where bother can have a positive meaning?
Good question. Well, what if you're at a party and you see someone sitting alone? You might go over and say, I hope I'm not bothering you, but would you like to join us? In that case, bothering means making an effort to include someone. Or another example, he didn't even bother to say goodbye.
I see. So, to bother can also mean to show concern or care for someone.
Exactly. It's all about context. So, let's look at our examples of dialogue. We will see the two meanings of to bother.
Did Emily ever call you back about the party?
No. She didn't bother to call me back. I guess she must be very angry.
What's wrong, Emily? You look upset.
It's nothing, just this message from my ex. It really bothers me that they keep contacting me.
Well, they were useful examples. I hope our listeners have understood what to bother means.
I agree, Lisa. Remember, listeners, don't hesitate to bother us with any questions you have. We're here to help you learn. Okay, let's move on to the next word. The next word is to be scared.
To be scared.
To be scared.
To be scared. That's a common phrase, isn't it?
Absolutely, Lisa. To be scared means to feel frightened or afraid about something.
Can you give us an example of how to use this phrase?
Sure. Let's say Sarah was scared when she saw the big dog.
Oh no. There's a big dog over there.
Don't worry, Sarah. He looks friendly.
I know, but I'm still scared.
It's okay. Let's walk on the other side of the park.
That was a great example, Eric. So in the dialogue, Sarah was scared because of the big dog, right?
Exactly, Lisa. She felt frightened or afraid when she saw the big dog.
Is it common for people to feel scared of dogs?
Well, some people might feel scared of dogs if they had a bad experience with them in the past, or if the dog is really big.
That makes sense.
And don't let being scared of making mistakes stop you from learning English or anything new. Making mistakes is a part of the learning English journey.
Okay, let's move on to the next word. The next word is try on.
Try on means to wear clothes or shoes to see if they fit or if you like how they look on you.
Can you give us an example of how to use this phrase?
Of course. Let's say, I'm going to try on this dress to see if it fits.
Which one should I buy?
Why don't you try them on and see which one looks better?
Good idea. I'll try on the red one first.
Great. I'll wait here.
That was a clear example, Eric. So, in the dialogue, Jenny could not decide which dress to buy, correct?
That's correct, Lisa. Liam offered her to try on both dresses to see which one fit her best.
Is it common for people to try on clothes before buying them?
Yes, Lisa. It's very common, especially when shopping for clothes. Trying on clothes helps you make sure they fit well and look good on you before you decide to buy them.
That makes sense. So Eric, have you ever tried on something and then decided not to buy it?
Oh, definitely, Lisa. There have been times when I tried on a shirt or pants and then realized they didn't fit me properly, or it didn't look as good as I expected.
I see. It's important to try on clothes before making a purchase to avoid any regrets later.
Absolutely. Trying on clothes is a helpful way to make sure you're happy with your purchase.
To try on is important when shopping for clothes to make sure they fit and look good.
That's right, Lisa. And don't forget to try on clothes before buying them.
Okay, let's move on to our next word.
The next word is according to.
According to.
According to. It's a phrase we use when we want to say that something is stated by someone or found in a particular source. For example, if I read a fact in a book, I can say, according to this book, elephants are the largest land animals.
That's a clear explanation, Eric. Shall we try an example dialogue using according to?
Yes, Lisa. It's coming.
According to the textbook, the Earth revolves around the sun.
That's correct, Mark. According to scientists, that's how our solar system works.
So in the dialogue, Mark used according to show where the information in the textbook came from, right?
Exactly, Lisa. He was referring to the textbook as the source of information about how the Earth and the sun interact.
Is according to used only for information from books or experts?
Not necessarily, Lisa. You can use according to for information from various sources, like articles, websites, or even people's opinions. For example, according to reviews, the best restaurant in town is Italian.
Ah, so you're showing people's opinions about the best restaurant.
Exactly. I'm sharing what people believe about the best restaurant in town.
Well, it seems like according to is a useful phrase for sharing information or opinions from different sources.
Absolutely, Lisa. It helps us give credit to where the information or opinion comes from. By the way, have you ever corrected someone who used according to incorrectly, Lisa?
Yes, once my friend said according to me, but I explained that it was wrong. We use according to for other sources and third parties, not ourselves.
That's a good point, Lisa. We use I think or I believe to express our opinions. If we get information or opinions from a third party, we can use according to. So, as you said, we cannot use it according to you or me.
Thank you for this important detail, Eric. Let's move on to our last word.
Okay, Lisa. Our last word is to eat like a horse. This is an idiom that means someone eats a lot of food or has a big appetite. For example, you might say, my brother eats like a horse. He can finish a whole pizza by himself.
Yes, it's a way to describe someone who eats a large amount of food, just like a horse, which is known for eating a lot.
Here's a sample dialogue using the idiom to eat like a horse.
Wow, look at Alex go! He's already on his third hamburger.
Yeah, he really eats like a horse. I don't know where he puts it all.
I guess he must have a high metabolism or something.
Either that or he's actually a horse.
That was a fun example. In this dialogue, Sarah and David watch their friend Alex, who is eating a lot of food at the picnic.
They use the idiom to eat like a horse to describe Alex's big appetite and comment on how much he's eating.
Sarah suggests that Alex might have a high metabolism, which could explain why he can eat so much without gaining weight.
David jokes that Alex may actually be a horse in disguise, playing on the literal meaning of the idiom.
Eric, do you know anyone who eats like a horse?
Actually, I do. My uncle always amazes me with how much he can eat at family dinners.
Really? What's the most you've ever seen him eat?
One time, he ate a whole turkey by himself. I couldn't believe it.
Wow, that's impressive. I don't think I could ever eat that much in one sitting. By the way, remember, listeners, it's best to use this phrase with close friends or family. This is a funny way to make a joke about someone's big stomach.
Good advice. Remember, to eat like a horse is just a playful expression about eating a lot. Try using it in a friendly situation.
It adds a bit of fun to the conversation.
Yes, It's a fun way to talk about someone's eating habits. And if you do happen to eat like a horse sometimes, just make sure you're not doing it all the time, or you might end up feeling a bit uncomfortable.
Good point, Eric. Balance is key, even for those with big appetites. Okay, Eric, what are the words today?
The first word today is permission. Then we will continue with to be allowed and skill. Then to be fed up. And the final one is hit the jackpot.
Okay, let's move on to our first word, Eric.
The first word today is permission.
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 Permission. That sounds important. Can you explain what it means?
Certainly, Lisa. When someone tells you, yes, you can do it, it means you have permission to do it.
Can you give us some examples, Eric?
Of course. Imagine you're a student in class and you want to go to the restroom. You might raise your hand and ask the teacher, "Can I go to the restroom, please?"
Oh, I understand. So, permission is when someone says it's okay for you to do something.
Exactly, Lisa. And in another scenario, let's say you want to borrow your friend's book. You might say, "Do you mind if I borrow your book?" And your friend might reply, "Sure, you have my permission."
So in that case, permission is giving someone the right to do something.
That's correct. Let's have a look at our example dialogue.
Hey, Jenny, can I fly my drone here?
I'm not sure. Let me ask the park ranger for permission.
Yes, you have permission to fly your drone here, as long as you follow the park's regulations.
It's great, Sam. It's always best to get permission first.
Do you think there are situations where permission can be important?
Absolutely, Lisa. For example, when we're children, we need our parents' permission to go out or do certain activities. And even as adults, we sometimes need permission from our bosses or other people who are responsible for doing some things.
I see. So permission helps to understand that things are done safely and responsibly.
Exactly. And sometimes, if we don't ask for permission, we could get into trouble or upset someone.
True. Asking for permission can avoid problems.
All right, Lisa, let's dive into our next word. It's to be allowed.
To be allowed.
To be allowed.
That sounds like it's related to permission. Can you explain it to us, Eric?
Sure, Lisa. To be allowed means to have permission, or something means to have the right to do it.
I see. So it's about having the okay to do something, isn't it?
Sure thing. Imagine you're a student in class, and you want to use your phone. You might ask the teacher, "Am I allowed to use my phone during class?"
Oh, I get it now. So, to be allowed is when someone says, it's okay for you to do something.
Exactly, Lisa. In another scenario, let's say you're visiting a museum and you see a sign that says, "No photography allowed." That means you can't take photos inside the museum.
So in that case, to be allowed means having the right or permission to do something.
That's correct. It's all about having the right or green light to do a certain action.
Hey Sarah, are we allowed to bring outside food into the theater?
I'm not sure, Tom. Let me check the theater's policy. Excuse me. Are we allowed to bring outside food into the theater?
I'm sorry. Outside food and drinks are not allowed inside the theater.
It's a very good example. So, do you think there are situations where to be allowed is important?
Absolutely, Lisa. For instance, when driving, you need to be allowed to park in certain areas to avoid getting a ticket. Or, when entering a building, you need to be allowed access by showing your ID.
I see. So, to be allowed helps us understand that we have the right to do something in different situations.
Yes, Lisa, it's important to know the rules and follow them to ensure everything goes well. And remember, listeners, always make sure you're allowed before taking action. The next word is skill.
Skill?
Skill. Skill. That's an interesting word. It means the ability to do something well. Skills can be learned or improved with practice.
And everyone has different skills. Let's use it in a dialogue. Imagine two friends talking at school.
I heard you're really good at playing the guitar.
Thanks. I've been practicing a lot. It's a skill I really enjoy improving.
I wish I had a musical skill like you. I'm better at sports, I guess.
That's cool. Every skill is important. Maybe you can teach me something about sports and I can teach you the guitar.
That's a great dialogue, Eric. It shows how skills can be different for everyone. And we can share and learn from each other.
Right, Lisa. What skill are you proud of?
I'm quite good at drawing, I think. It's a skill I've been practicing since I was a kid. How about you, Eric?
For me, it's cooking. I love trying new recipes and improving my cooking skills. It's fun to see the progress.
That's fantastic, Eric. Sharing your skills with others can also bring a lot of joy. Remember, everyone, no matter what skill you want to learn or improve, it's all about practice and patience.
Well said, Lisa. Whether it's drawing, cooking, playing an instrument, or sports, every skill is valuable. Keep practicing, everyone.
Okay, let's move on to our next word.
The next word is to be fed up.
To be fed up.
To be fed up.
To be fed up? What does that mean?
It means to be very tired of something, or to be annoyed because something has been happening for too long.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Imagine two friends talking. One friend says, "I am fed up with this rain. It's been a week."
And the other friend might say, "Me too. I want to see the sun again."
That's right. They are both tired of the rain.
Can we use to be fed up in other situations?
Yes, like when you have too much work. You might say, "I'm fed up with all these reports."
So, it's not just about the weather or small things.
Correct. It can be about anything that makes you feel tired or annoyed. So let's see it in an example dialogue.
I'm so fed up with this old computer. It keeps crashing, and I can't get my work done.
I know what you mean. I'm fed up with the slow internet connection in the office. It's driving me crazy.
We should talk to the boss about upgrading our equipment. I'm tired of dealing with these issues every day.
That's a great example, Eric. It shows how people can be fed up with different things in their working lives, like technology problems at work.
Definitely. When you're fed up, it often means you've been patient for a while, but have finally reached your limit. People often do something or make some changes when they are fed up. Lisa, have you ever been fed up with something?
Yes, once I was fed up with the noise from my neighbors' late-night parties. I finally knocked on their door and explained the problem. Luckily, they were understanding.
It's good that you found a solution. I remember being fed up with my old phone constantly crashing. I decided to save money for a new one, and it was totally worth it.
Feeling fed up can definitely motivate us to solve problems. But it's also important to handle the situation calmly and respectfully.
Right, Lisa. It's okay to feel fed up, but how we express it and solve the issue is key. Remember, everyone, if you're fed up with something, try to solve it in a positive way.
Wise words, Eric. Whether it's talking to someone about a problem or looking for alternatives, there are ways to manage when we're fed up.
Definitely. And remember, it's okay to feel this way sometimes. Just be sure to find a positive solution. And we hope our listeners aren't fed up with our podcast.
I think they like our podcast, Eric. So let's keep learning together. Can you explain the last word, Eric?
The last word is hit the jackpot.
Hit the jackpot.
Hit the jackpot.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Hit the jackpot means having a big success or suddenly winning a large amount of money, especially in gambling. But it can also mean having great success in other areas of life.
Right, Eric. It's like being very lucky or successful. Let's show an example with a dialogue.
Guess what? I got that job I applied for, and the salary is even higher than I expected.
Wow, congrats. It sounds like you really hit the jackpot with this new job.
Thanks. I feel really lucky. It's like all my hard work has finally paid off.
That dialogue was spot on, Eric. Sarah literally hit the jackpot by getting that job.
Yes, Lisa. Hit the jackpot can also be used in many other situations. For example, it can show you have achieved your dream success as well.
Great point, Eric. Have you ever felt like you hit the jackpot?
Yes, when I was accepted into my university, I was like, hit the jackpot. It was my first choice and I couldn't believe my luck. What about you, Lisa?
I felt that way when I had my dog. She's brought so much joy into my life, truly like, I hit the jackpot.
Those are both great examples of how hit the jackpot can be more than just about money. It's about feeling incredibly lucky or happy about an outcome.
Exactly. It shows that success can come in many forms and sometimes.
Well said, Lisa. I hope our listeners find their own ways to hit the jackpot in their lives, in whatever form that may be.
Me too, Eric. Remember, everyone, to keep trying and stay positive. Who knows? You might hit the jackpot.
True, Lisa.
Can you start with the first word?
Sure, Lisa. The first word is vehicle.
Vehicle.
Vehicle. A vehicle is a thing that takes you from one place to another. It can be a car, a bus, a bicycle, or even a boat.
That's a good explanation, Eric. Let's see how this word works in a dialogue. Imagine two friends talking.
Hey, Mary, how do you go to work every day?
I usually take the bus. It's my favorite vehicle to go to work.
I see. I prefer riding my bicycle. It's a great vehicle for exercise and is good for the environment, too.
That's true. Maybe I should try different vehicles to work sometime.
In the dialogue, we heard about two different types of vehicles, a bus and a bicycle.
Yes, and they each have their own advantages. Buses can carry many people at once, while bicycles are good for your health and environment.
I agree. It's important to choose the right vehicle for your needs. What's your favorite vehicle, Lisa?
I love trains. They're comfortable and you can relax or work during the journey. What about you, Eric?
I'm a fan of electric cars. They're fast and quiet and better for the environment than gas-powered cars.
That's a great point. Technology is improving very quickly. So, in the near future, we will see more and more electric cars on the roads.
Definitely. It's exciting to think about how vehicles might change in the future.
Maybe we'll have flying cars one day, like in the movies.
Who knows? But for now, we have plenty of vehicles to choose from on our way to work, school, or adventure.
That's true. Remember, a vehicle is something that takes you from one place to another. It can be big or small, fast or slow, but it helps us get where we need to go.
Exactly, Lisa. It was a good repeat explanation. Okay, let's move on to the next words.
Okay, Eric, can you explain the next word, please?
Sure, Lisa. The next word is public transportation.
Public transportation.
Public transportation. It means a system of vehicles, such as buses and trains, that work at regular times on fixed routes and are used by the public.
Exactly, Eric. Now, let's listen to a dialogue where John and his friend Mary are talking about using public transportation in their city.
Hi, Mary. How do you usually get to work?
I take the bus, John. It's a public transportation service that is very close and drops me off right at my office building.
Oh, that sounds easy. I also want to use public transportation, but I'm not sure about the routes and times.
Don't worry, John. You can find all the information online or at the bus stops. Plus, using public transportation can save you money and it's better for the environment.
That's true, Mary. I will definitely think about it. Thanks for the advice.
So, Lisa, have you ever used public transportation before?
Yes, Eric, I have. I used the subway every day when I lived in the city. It was easy and cheaper, and I didn't have to worry about traffic.
That sounds great, Lisa. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about using public transportation for the first time?
First, you should plan your trip ahead of time. And you should always have some change or a transportation card ready and be patient, especially during rush hours.
Those are very good tips, Lisa. I think using public transportation can be a great way to explore a city too, don't you think?
Absolutely, Eric. It allows you to see a lot more of the city, and it is a more practical way to travel. I think it's certainly better for the environment than everyone driving their own car.
I agree, Lisa. Remember, listeners, public transportation is a great way to travel around the city. Okay, let's move on to the next word. The next word is commute.
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 What does it mean, Eric?
To commute means to travel from your home to your workplace and back. People usually do this every day or regularly for work or school. It's something many people do every day.
That's right. You can commute by car, bus, train, and bicycle, or even on foot. Okay, let's hear an example dialogue with the word to commute.
Hey, Tom, how long does it take you to commute to the office?
It usually takes me about 45 minutes. I commute by train.
Oh, that's quite a long time. I'm lucky that I only have a 20-minute commute by car.
Yes, but I don't mind. When I commute, I read or check my emails.
In the dialogue, we heard about two different ways to commute, by train and by car.
Yes, and we also learned that commuting times can change depending on where you live and work.
When I was working at my previous job, I had to commute for an hour each way. It was tiring, but I used this time to listen to podcasts and make it more enjoyable.
Wow, that's a long time to spend commuting every day. I'm glad my commute is shorter now. Do you think there are any ways to commute, Eric?
Well, some people enjoy the time alone to relax or prepare for the rest of the day. And if you commute by public transport, you can use the time to read, work, or catch up on sleep.
That's true. But I think commuting for a long time can also be stressful and tiring. It's important to find some activities when you commute.
Agreed. There are many ways to make commuting more enjoyable. They might be listening to music, reading a book, or even learning a new language.
And if possible, it's great to find ways to shorten your commute, like living in a closer location to work, or finding a job with a shorter travel time.
Absolutely. Commuting is a part of daily life for many people, but it doesn't have to be a negative experience.
That's right. Remember, to commute means to travel regularly between your home and work or school. It's something that many of us do every day.
Thank you for repeating the meaning of commute, Lisa.
You're welcome, Eric. Let's move on to our next word.
Okay, Lisa. The next word is rush hour.
Rush hour.
Rush hour. When most people are going to or from work, it is called rush hour. And the roads and public transit are absolutely very crowded. It usually happens twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening.
Yes, Eric. The roads and public transportation are very crowded, and it can take longer to reach your destination. Now, let's have a look at the example dialogue.
Why is the train so full today?
It's rush hour, Sarah. Everyone is going to work.
Ah, I see. It's my first time traveling this early.
Yeah, it's always like this. During rush hours, everywhere is crowded.
That was a good example, Eric. Sarah was surprised because it was her first time traveling during rush hour.
Right, Lisa. Now, let's talk a bit about it. Have you ever traveled during rush hour, Lisa?
Yes, I have. It's very crowded. I prefer to travel at other times. What about you, Eric?
I travel during rush hour every day. It's busy, but I'm used to it now. Lisa, why do you think cities have rush hour?
Good question, Eric. I think it's because most people have similar work hours. So they all travel at the same time.
That makes sense. What advice would you give to someone traveling during rush hour for the first time?
I'd say be patient and give yourself extra time. It's going to be crowded. And you, Eric?
I agree. Also, maybe try to find something to do, like listening to a podcast. It makes the time go faster. They can listen to our podcast if they learn English, by the way.
Absolutely. Great advice. Rush hour can be difficult and tiring, but it's part of city life. People can leave for work early or work from home if they can.
That's a good idea. I think it's important to find ways to reduce the stress of rush hour as much as possible.
Okay. Eric, what is the last word today?
Our last word is give a lift.
Give a lift.
Give a lift. To give a lift means to take someone in your car to the place they want to go. It's like helping someone take to their destination.
Let's hear an example dialogue using give a lift.
Hey, Mike, I missed my bus. Can you give me a lift to school?
Of course, Sarah. I'm happy to help. Jump in.
Thanks so much, Mike. You're a lifesaver.
That was a great example, Eric. Mike helped Sarah by giving her a lift to school because she missed her bus.
Exactly, Lisa. Now, let's have a little chat about it. Lisa, have you ever given someone a lift?
Yes, Eric, I have. Last week, my friend's car broke down, so I gave her a lift to work. What about you?
Oh, many times. I remember once giving a lift to a friend who was late for an interview. He was so grateful.
That's very kind of you, Eric. Giving a lift can really help someone out.
True, Lisa. It's a simple act of kindness. Do you think giving a lift is common in many places?
Yes, I think in many places people give lifts to their friends or family. They sometimes help even people they don't know well.
It shows how small actions can make a big difference in someone's day.
I totally agree, Eric. Giving a lift is not just about driving someone somewhere. It's about helping them when they need it.
That's a great point, Lisa. So everyone, remember, the next time someone needs help getting somewhere, you can offer them to give a lift.
Great! Okay, Eric, can you start with the first word?
In this section, the first word is benefit.
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 Oh, that's a good word. A benefit is something good that helps you, like an advantage.
Yes, exactly. It's very similar to advantage. It is like when something makes your life better or easier. For example, eating healthy food has many benefits that make you feel good.
Let's use benefit in a short dialogue. Imagine two friends talking in a park.
Hey Tom, have you started using the new health app I told you about?
Yes, I have. It's really great and has a lot of benefits. I am writing down what I eat and how much I exercise.
That's good to hear. What benefits have you noticed?
Actually, yes. I feel more energetic and I've lost some weight too.
That's wonderful. Following your routine can be very helpful for your health.
That was a nice example. So, Tom saw the benefit of using the health app because it helped him feel better and lose weight.
Now, Lisa, can you think of something that is a benefit of learning a new language?
You can meet people from different countries if you learn a new language. That's a big benefit, right?
Absolutely. Understanding and speaking another language can open up so many doors for you. Or, can you think of the benefits of exercise, Lisa?
Sure. Exercise can make you stronger and help you sleep better. Those are important benefits.
Yes, they are. It also shows how much benefit the things we do, or the decisions we make have.
Try to use the word benefit in your own sentences and think about the benefits in your life.
Right. Today, we learned about the word benefit. Remember, a benefit is something good that helps you.
Okay, let's move on to our next word. What is the next word, Eric?
The next word is to wake up.
To wake up.
To wake up. To wake up means to stop sleeping and become awake. For example, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's right, Eric. Now, let's have a sample dialogue using to wake up.
Tom, it's time to wake up. You'll be late for school.
Just 5 more minutes, Mom. I'm still sleepy.
No, Tom. You need to wake up now and get ready. Breakfast is waiting for you.
Okay, Mom. I'm waking up now.
In this dialogue, the mother tries to wake up her son Tom so that he will not be late for school.
Yes, and Tom wants to sleep a little longer, but his mother wants him to wake up and get ready for the day.
Eric, what time do you usually wake up in the morning?
I usually wake up around 6:30 a.m. How about you, Lisa?
I wake up a bit later, around 7:30 a.m. Do you find it easy to wake up in the morning?
Not always. Sometimes I feel very sleepy and want to stay in bed longer. But I know I have to wake up and start my day. What helps you wake up in the morning, Lisa?
I find it very useful to set an alarm and put my phone away from my bed. When the alarm goes off, I have to get out of bed to switch it off, and this helps me to wake up.
That's a smart idea. It makes you get up and really wake up. Do you use the sleep button?
Sometimes. On weekends, I might press the snooze button once or twice. What about you, Eric? How do you wake up early?
I drink a big glass of water before I go to bed. It helps me wake up early and feel energetic.
Interesting. Drinking water is a good tip. It seems healthy and helpful for waking up.
Exactly, Lisa. Okay, we learned that waking up is a very simple but important part of our day, and there are many different ways to do it.
Right, Eric. Waking up early can be easy for some people and hard for others. But it's important to find which ways are best for you.
Well said, Lisa.
Thanks for the great conversation about to wake up, Eric.
You're welcome, Lisa. Now, let's move on to the next word. The next word is to discuss.
To discuss.
To discuss.
Great word, Eric. To discuss is a verb that means it's a way to share your ideas about something.
Exactly, Lisa. Now, let's give our listeners an example dialogue to help them understand how to use to discuss in a conversation.
Sounds good. Here's a sample dialogue between two friends.
Hi, Sarah. Do you have a minute to discuss our plans for the weekend?
Sure, John. What ideas do you have in mind?
I was thinking we could have a barbecue in the park. What do you think?
That sounds great. Let's discuss the details and make a list of what we need.
That was a perfect example. What do you like to discuss with your friends, Eric?
I love to discuss movies. Talking about the story and the characters is always fun. How about you, Lisa?
I enjoy discussing books. It's interesting to share opinions on different stories. Eric, why is it important to discuss things with others?
Great question, Lisa. It's important to discuss it because it helps us understand different opinions, and it can also teach us new things. What do you think, Lisa?
I agree, Eric. Discussing also makes our relationship strong. It's a way to connect with other people by talking and listening. Eric, can you think of any other situations where people might need to discuss something?
Well, students often discuss their homework or projects with classmates. Families might discuss their weekend plans or household chores.
Those are good examples, Eric. Or, friends might discuss their hobbies like books or movies they enjoy.
True. Discussing is a big part of our daily lives and relationships.
It sure is. Thanks for explaining the word to discuss, Eric. I think our listeners will find it helpful.
I hope so, Lisa. Let's move on to the next word. It's to be annoyed.
To be annoyed.
To be annoyed.
What does to be annoyed mean, Eric?
To be annoyed means to feel bothered or upset because of something or someone. It's not a strong, angry feeling, but it can make you feel a little upset.
Oh, I see. Can we have an example of dialogue with the word annoyed?
Of course. Let's set the scene. Imagine you're in a library and you are trying to study.
Why are you talking so loudly? It makes me really annoyed. I'm trying to study here.
Oh, I didn't realize I was being loud. Sorry about that.
It's fine, but it was really annoying.
That was a good example. Alice was trying to study and Bob was talking loudly. Alice felt annoyed because it was hard for her to study.
Exactly, Lisa. What about you? do you sometimes feel annoyed?
Yes, sometimes when I'm reading and there is a lot of noise, I feel annoyed. What about you, Eric?
Same here. I get annoyed when I'm trying to work and my cat jumps on my desk and blocks my computer screen.
That sounds cute, but annoying at the same time.
Yes, it is.
So, annoyed is used to express that something or someone is making us feel slightly upset or irritated. Also, it's not just about what others do. Situations can make us feel annoyed too.
Correct. It's important to express anger calmly and politely, as Alice did in our example.
Definitely. Well, that's all for today's word, to be annoyed. Thanks for explaining, Eric.
No problem, Lisa. Thank you all for listening. Remember, feeling annoyed is normal, but how we handle it makes a difference.
Let's move on to our last word. What is the last word, Eric?
The last word is to be confused.
To be confused.
To be confused. To be confused means to be unsure or unclear about something. When you are confused, you don't fully understand what is happening or what someone is saying.
That's right, Eric. For example, you might say, I'm confused about the directions to the park. Here's a sample dialogue using to be confused.
Hey, Mary, what would you like to order?
I'm confused by the menu. There are so many options. What do you recommend?
Yes, it makes me confused as well, but I know what I will eat. The spaghetti carbonara is my favorite.
That sounds good. I think I'll try that. Thanks for helping me decide.
That's a great example, Lisa. It shows how someone can be confused when there are too many choices.
Definitely. It's common to feel confused in situations like that. Hey, Eric, have you ever been confused by something recently?
Actually, yes. I was trying to set up my new phone yesterday, and I got really confused by all the different settings and options.
Oh, I know what you mean. Technology can be so confusing sometimes. What did you do?
I asked my friend for help. She's really good with technology and explained things to me clearly.
That's a great solution. Asking someone for help is always a good idea when you're confused about something.
Absolutely. It's okay to say when you don't understand something and ask for help.
I couldn't agree more. Thanks for sharing your example, Eric.
No problem, Lisa. In this section, the first word is equal. It means something is the same in quantity, size, degree, or value as something else.
That's a great definition. Let's make it clearer with an example dialogue. Imagine two students are comparing their test scores.
Hey Jane, how did you do on the math test?
I got 85 out of 100. What about you?
I got the same score. Our scores are equal.
That's great. We both studied hard, so it's nice to see we got equal scores.
This dialogue shows Sam and Jane having test scores that are the same, so they are equal. Eric, can you think of a time when being equal is really important?
Sure, Lisa. In sports, it's important for teams to have an equal number of players to make the game fair. What about you, Lisa? Can you think of another situation where equal matters?
Yes, in sharing food or treats. It's nice when everyone gets an equal portion, so no one feels left out. It makes everyone feel treated fairly.
That's true, Lisa. Equal is a word we often use when talking about fairness and justice too, like when everyone has equal rights and opportunities.
Exactly, Eric. Do you think everyone has an equal opportunity to learn a new language?
Good question. I think everyone should have an equal opportunity. But sometimes that doesn't happen because of different problems. That's why we're here, trying to explain English in a simple way, so that many people can learn and improve it freely.
Well said, Eric. We're very interested in making sure that everyone has an equal chance to learn. I hope that our podcast makes people feel motivated and helped. So, let's summarize today's word. Equal means the same In number, size, degree, or value.
Yes, Lisa. We use it a lot in English to talk about fairness and justice.
Okay, Eric, let's move on to the next word. What is it and what does it mean?
Oh, Lisa, that's a great word. The next word is balance.
Balance.
Balance. Balance means keeping everything equal, like not falling when standing on one leg or not focusing on one thing only.
Can you give us an example of a dialogue where the word balance is used?
Sure. Let's say there are two friends, Tom and Alex. Tom is talking about how he manages his time.
Hey Alex, how are you doing well in school? Do you still spend time on football and video games?
Well, Tom, it's all about balance. I have a balanced plan every week. I try to find a balance between studying, training for football, and playing some games.
That sounds clever. I'm always playing games, and then, late at night, trying to finish my homework. I guess I don't have a good balance between the two.
Your activities should be in balance. This can help you feel less stressed and more successful.
That's a good example, Eric. Balancing activities is very important.
Absolutely, Lisa. Do you think it's easy to get a good balance in life?
No, Eric, not always. It takes work and preparation, but it's worth it. Alex said that making a plan can be very helpful in the dialogue.
Right. Do you find a good balance between your hobbies and work, Lisa?
I try, Eric. Sometimes I have to change something to find a better balance, but it helps me feel happier and more relaxed. How about you?
I'm learning to find balance better. Keeping the balance between what's important and what's not helps me make better use of my time.
That's a good point, Eric. It's very important to have a balance of activities.
Exactly. Do you have any final thoughts about balance before we move on, Lisa?
Finding the right balance in different areas of your life can bring happiness and success. You should make an effort to find it.
Well said, Lisa. That's all for balance. Let's move on to our next word.
Okay, Eric, what is the next word?
The next word is to be worth it. To be worth it means that something is good or important enough to make the cost, effort, or time right on it. Or, if something is worth it, it means it is good enough to make extra effort. For example, if you say, the movie was worth the wait, it means that the movie was so good that you don't mind waiting a long time to see it.
Now, let's have a sample dialogue using to be worth it.
Wow, the line to get into this restaurant is so long. We've been waiting for almost an hour.
I know, but I heard the food here is amazing. I think it will be worth the wait.
I hope you're right. I'm starving. That was incredible. The food was so delicious.
See? I told you, it would be worth it.
That's a great example, Eric. It shows how we can use to be worth it in a real-life situation.
Yes, and it also shows that sometimes we have to wait or put in extra effort to get something we really want.
Definitely. Can you think of any other situations where we might use this phrase?
Sure. For example, if you study hard for a test and get a good grade, you could say, all that studying was worth it.
That's a good one. Or if you save up money to buy something special like a new phone or a trip, you might say, it was expensive, but it was worth it.
Exactly. It's all about deciding whether the end result makes an effort or cost right or not.
I agree. It's important to think about whether something is really worth it before spending our time, money, or energy on it.
That's a great point, Lisa. We should always consider if something is truly valuable to us before going after it.
Thanks for explaining this word, Eric. I think our listeners will find it very useful in their everyday lives.
You're welcome, Lisa. It's always a pleasure to share helpful English words and phrases with our listeners.
Okay, let's move on to our next word.
The next word is countryside. The countryside is the land outside of cities and towns. It usually has fields, forests, and farms. It's a natural and peaceful place.
That's right, Eric. Let's see it in action with an example dialogue. Imagine a family discussing their weekend plans.
What should we do this weekend? Any ideas?
How about we go to the countryside? It would be nice to get away from the city.
Yes, I want to see the animals and run in the fields.
And I can take photos. The countryside is so beautiful.
This dialogue shows the family decided to spend their weekend in the countryside.
It's a good example, Lisa. What do you like most about the countryside?
I love quiet and fresh air. It's so relaxing. How about you, Eric?
I enjoy the open spaces and the chance to see wildlife. It's a good break from the busy city life. By the way, Lisa, do you think living in the countryside is better than living in the city?
That's a tough question, Eric. Both have their benefits. The countryside offers peace and nature, but there are more job options and fun things to do in the city. It depends on what a person likes more.
That's fair. The countryside can be a wonderful place to visit or to live if you enjoy a quieter, simpler life.
Definitely. And for our listeners, visiting the countryside can be a refreshing experience. Whether it's for a day or a holiday, it's nice to explore and enjoy the outdoors.
Well said, Lisa. Remember, dear listeners, the countryside is all about natural beauty, peace, and a break from the noise and chaos of the city.
I think it's important to appreciate both the city and the countryside. They both have their own benefits.
That's true. And it's always nice to take a break from your usual routine and enjoy something different.
Definitely. So, let's summarize the word, Eric. Countryside refers to the rural areas outside of cities and towns, and it's often associated with nature and peaceful scenery.
Yes, Lisa. And it's also a great place to get rid of the noise and chaos of the city.
Great, Eric. So now we will explain our last word today. What is it, Eric?
Our last word today is to give up. To give up means to stop trying to do something often because it's too difficult or because you don't think you can do it. When you give up, you stop making an effort to do something.
Let's listen to an example dialogue between two friends, Sarah and Jamie, who are talking about their New Year's plans.
Hey, Jamie, how are your New Year's plans going?
Not great, to be honest. I really wanted to give up smoking, but it's been so hard.
I understand. Stopping smoking is really tough, but don't give up just yet. Think about all the benefits of giving up smoking. You'll feel healthier, you'll save money, and you'll be proud of yourself for making your plans for the next year.
You're right. Maybe I just need to try a different way to give it up.
In this dialogue, Jamie is trying to give up smoking on his New Year's plan.
Yes, but Sarah supports him not to stop trying to give up smoking.
Giving up is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's better to understand that something isn't working and give up. For example, when I realized I couldn't win the game, I decided to give up and try again next time.
That's true. But it's also important to keep going and not give up too quickly.
Absolutely. Do you have any tips for our listeners on how to stay motivated and not give up, Lisa?
Yes, I do. One thing that helps me is to set small goals for myself. That way, I can feel motivated to keep going.
That's a great idea. I also find it helpful to tell friends and family about my goals. They can provide support and encouragement when I need it.
Definitely, Eric. So, let's summarize the word, Eric. To give up means to stop trying to do something often because it's too difficult or because you don't think you can do it.
Yes, Lisa. It's important to remember that giving up is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you just need to keep going.
Okay, listeners. We hope you enjoyed our explanation of the English language and added new words to your vocabulary.
Remember, language learning is a journey, not a race. So, take your time and enjoy each step.
Join us again next time for more words, dialogues, and fun discussions.
Until then, Keep practicing, stay curious, and goodbye from all of us here.
Bye-bye.